So in module C today we are going to finish the 2 act. First I will finish the integrated ombudsman scheme. This is not the banking ombudsman, it is integrated ombudsman scheme, that is 2021. This is the exact name of this act. In 2021 there is a drastic change that happened in this act. What is the drastic change? 3 ombudsman scheme have been merged into the one ombudsman scheme. So what are the 3 ombudsman scheme? We will just study one by one. The first scheme is of banking ombudsman, second scheme is of NBFC scheme, and the third one is your payment and settlement one. So these 3 ombudsman has been merged into the one ombudsman. So that's why if there is any dispute regarding the customer and the regulated entity of these 3 things, so we can easily go to the integrated ombudsman scheme. That's it. Okay, now what is this? This is your appellant authority. What is this? This is the appellant authority. So which means executive director, it means who is the appellant authority under the integrated ombudsman scheme. So you have to learn that is the executive director. This is important. In the banking ombudsman scheme 2006, deputy governor was the appellant authority, but in this new scheme that is of 2021, the executive director will be the appellant authority. Done. What is award? Award means the justice which is given by the ombudsman. This is called award. So award means that is passed by the ombudsman in accordance with the scheme. This is called award. That is important. This is called class award. Okay. So award is not a IFA award or IPL award. This award is the justice which is given by the ombudsman. That's it. Next, what is bank? So bank, according to this act, it means banking company, corresponding new bank, regional rural bank, SBI bank, which is defined under the Banking Regulation Act. Defined under the Banking Regulation Act, right? And it also contains the cooperative bank as defined under section 56C of this one, right? Now, but does not include, now this is very important, that does not include a bank in resolution or winding up under direction. It means whenever the Reserve Bank will say that in this bank, this act will be not apply. So we have to follow the wordings of Reserve Bank. That's it. We have to follow the wordings of, guys, Reserve Bank. This is important. Okay, this is important. Done. What is complaint? I think you people all know that what is complaint. So complaint means representation in writing. What is this? This is basically representation in writing or through the other mode alleging the deficiency in the services. It means if a customer is not satisfied, so basically he can complain against the regulated entity to the ombudsman. So this is called complaint, and it should be in the writing. That's it. Okay, it should be in the writing. Now, what is non-banking financial company? This scheme also merged into the integrated ombudsman scheme, banking ombudsman and NBFC. So what is NBFC according to this? It means that is defined under the Reserve Bank of India Act 1934. Okay, so this NBFC topic is defined under the Reserve Bank of India and registered with Reserve Bank. First point. To the extent not excluded under the scheme but does not include, it means that does not include. So we have to learn this one, that does not include core investment company, infrastructure depth fund, non-banking financial company, the non-banking financial company, infrastructure financial, this one, and the company whatever the Reserve Bank of India that defined. So this does not include this one. Is that okay? Okay guys, so I think this topic is clear, that what is NBFC, right? Now, what is regulated entity? Regulated entity means bank and a non-banking financial company or a system participant. What is this? Bank or a non-banking financial company or a system participant as defined in the scheme, or any other entity as may be specified by the Reserve Bank from time to time. This is your regulated entity. Okay, deficiency in service. What is deficiency in service? See, it means shortcoming or inadequacy in any financial service which the regulated entity is required to provide, statutory, otherwise which may or may not result in the financial loss and damage to the customer. So this is your deficiency in service. It means, suppose if the customer is not satisfied, right? So if the customer is not satisfied, he can basically say that I have to file the complaint in the ombudsman. That's it. Okay. This is deficiency in service. Done? What is settlement? Settlement means an agreement reached by the party to the complaint by, what are the methods? Facilitation, conciliation, mediation. See, three things. Okay, what is system participant? This is the third scheme that is merged into the integrated ombudsman scheme. Okay, the first is banking, second is NBFC, third is this one. So system participant means person other than Reserve Bank and the system provider participating a payment system as defined under this act. Important. What is system provider? It means include a person who operate an authorized payment system as defined in section 2 of the Payment and Settlement System Act. That's it. Okay. Reserve Bank, as we know that is defined under the Reserve Bank of India Act. That's it. Now, module C. What is Limitation Act? Okay. So, according to the Limitation Act, what exactly this means? X and Y, that is the two party. Okay. They are doing the contract. Y person breach the contract. Y person breach the contract. In that case, what will happen? If the Y person breach the contract, so now X have a right to file the suit. So now suppose if X file the suit after 5 years, so can it will be the useful? The answer is no, because after 5 years the evidence may be destroyed, but the limitation is given under the Limitation Act 1963. So what is a limitation? The limitation is basically 3 years. So within 3 years that have to file the case. That's it. Okay, so this is your Limitation Act. This is your Limitation Act. Okay, Now, what is applicant? Applicant means petitioner, any person from and through whom an applicant derive his rights to apply, any person whose estate is represented by the applicant as executor, administrator and other representative. That's it. Okay, application, that is petition. Bill of exchange, hundi, check. Bond, any instrument, instrument means document, whereby a person oblige means duty. A person oblige himself to pay money to the another on condition that obligation shall be void if the specified act is performed, not performed. So, bond is basically what we have written in the agreement. That's it. So, this is your bond. Okay, this is called bond. What is period of limitation? First of all, this limitation period is applied on the suit, on the appeal, on the application by this one. This is called period of limitation. Okay, this is 3. Suit is case, appeal is lower to higher body, application means any application, written application. Okay, prescribed period means the period computed in accordance with the limitation. So, just like in the mortgage, limitation is 12 years, right, in the mortgage. In the contract, generally 3 years. Suppose if any act, because when we just in the paid class when we are reading the limitation act, so for all the act the the limitation is there, so we have to follow the limitation. Okay, now what is promissory note? First of all, suit. Suit means that does not include appeal and application, that is called suit. That does not include appeal and application because these are different terms and suit is different. What is promissory note? That is so simple. Promissory note means X and Y is there. X have given goods to the Y person, right? And Y person, suppose he have to give 5 lakh rupees, but right now the Y person don't have a 5 lakh rupees. So what will happen then? Now this 5 lakh, Y will make a document. That document is promissory note. It must be registered and stamped, and that is written that Y will give X 5 lakh rupees after 1 month and Y will sign here. This is called promissory note. So in that case, X is the payee and Y is the maker and drawer. That's it. Maker and drawer. Is that okay? Done, guys? Okay, this is called promissory note. So I think this definition is clear to all. Evidence. So what kind of evidence the bank have to present? So that is written in the Bankers Book Evidence Act. Okay, so this book is nothing but the record maintained by which is maintained by the bank. This is called what book. Okay, and what is evidence? Evidence is basically you can say there's a 2 word, evidence and proof. 2 words are there. So what is the basic difference between the evidence and proof? See, evidence are the bricks, right, to make wall of proof. to make wall of proof. So this so evidence means suppose if X person have done wrongful act toward this. So these are the evidence that we are presenting in front of the court which prove that X have committed the crime. So this is the basic difference between the evidence and the proof. Okay, now let's do the definition. What is company class? So company that we have done in section 3 of the Company Act 1956. So 1956 is the oldest act of the company. After that, in 2013, the latest Company Act has been come. So the definition of company is given here. What is corporation? Corporation means any body corporate established by any law for the time being in force in India and includes Reserve Bank of India, State Bank of India, any subsidiary bank. So you can see the definition of corporation. Okay, includes means that Reserve Bank of India, the State Bank of India and the subsidiary bank also include in this one. C class, corporation. Is that okay? Done? Now, what is bank and what is banker? Bank and banker, okay? Any company or corporation, if I show you, highlight you, that any company, corporation carrying on the business of banking, right? Any partnership, individual to whose books the provision of this act shall have been extended, or any post office saving. That is called what? Bank and banker. That is the basic difference between the bank and banker. So basically, this is the bank, right? This is the bank. The person who are working in the bank, that is called banker. That is so simple. Okay. So if I say you that the Bankers Book Evidence Act is applied to the which bank? So every bank, because every bank have to maintain the record. That's it. Okay, now what is legal proceeding? Legal proceeding means suppose if any matter of the bank is go on in front of the court. So what are the legal proceeding? So any proceeding or inquiry in which evidence is or may be given. That is called legal proceeding. See? Done? So you can say in a one word, that is proceeding that is going in the court. That is the first line. And arbitration. It means any proceeding which is going in the arbitration. Done? Or any investigation or inquiry under the Code of Criminal Procedure Code, or you can say any procedure which is going on in the CRPC, that is called legal proceeding, or any other law for the time being in force for the collection of evidence, or you can say any other law. Any other law in which the proceeding is going on. Okay, and you have to remember the legal proceeding always conducted by the police officer or by any other person but not magistrate. What is this? Not being magistrate. Authorized in this behalf by the magistrate or any other law. It means any other person is authorized on the behalf of magistrate or any law for the time being in force. So this is the definition of legal proceeding under this act. Very important session. Is that okay, class? So this is your definition of legal proceeding. So you can see that this question, this definition can become in the form of question. Suppose the 4 points will be given, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the question will be put up that what is legal proceeding according to the Bankers Book Evidence Act. So you have to take mark on this one. Okay? What is court? The person or the person before whom legal proceeding is held or taken, that is called court. Because we know that in the court, the legal proceeding has always been taken place. That's it. Okay, so this is the definition of court. Next, what is judge? Judge means judge of the High Court division. And what is trial? Trial means any hearing before the court at which evidence is taken. This is called trial. Because whenever the police present the investigate, first of all, suppose in any case, if I complaint or FIR of any case, so that case the police will investigate. Then police have to prepare the charge sheet. When the charge sheet is present before the court, then the trial will be conducted. Okay, so this is called trial. Done. This is called class trial. Now, what is certified copy? C class. The bank have no right to give the original copy to the bank, to the court. So what copy the bank have to present? Certified copy. So certified copy the bank have to present before the court. So what is certified copy? It means copy of any entry in the books of the bank together with certificate written at the foot of such copy that it is a true copy of such entry. So certified copy means the copy which is verified or certified by any authority. It means in the bank, if any authority verified or certified this, that is called what? Certified copy. Okay, so this is the meaning of certified copy. Such entry is contained in one of the ordinary book. Okay, such entry contained in the ordinary book of the bank was made in the usual and ordinary course of the business, and such book is still in the custody of the bank. It means whatever the, you can say, the record that is maintained by the bank. Okay, so whatever the record which is maintained by the bank, that record, that copy of that record should be certified by the particular authority. So this is the definition of certified copy. That is important. Okay, this is the definition of certified copy. Now class, the Legal Service Authority Act. Legal Service Authority Act. In this act, we only have to study about the Lok Adalat. What is Lok Adalat? In one word we can say court of people. This is called what? This is called Lok Adalat, isn't it? So here, if we talk about the Lok Adalat, so basically as we know that in our India, Supreme Court is the highest court, after that High Court, after that District Court. So below District Court, the Lok Adalat is there. So Lok Adalat, you can say that is the alternative way. Okay, Lok Adalat is the alternative way to solve the dispute. Because in the court, we know that we have to follow so much procedure in the court, right? But in this Lok Adalat, they are not bound to follow the procedure which is followed by the court. They can make their own procedure because their main aim, the Lok Adalat main aim is to settle and compromise the dispute. That's it. Okay, so this is your. Now, what we have to study, see. What is case? Case means any suit or any proceeding before a court. That is called case. Done. What is central authority? It means National Legal Service Authority constituted under this act. This is called central authority. What is court? Court means civil, criminal, revenue court, includes any tribunal, any other authority constituted under any law for the timing in force. It may be judicial and quasi-judicial. So what is judicial functions? The functions which is followed by the particular court, that is called judicial, and the functions which is followed by the tribunal, lok adalat, that is called quasi-judicial. That's it. Done, class? Okay. What is district authority? Means district legal service authority constituted under this one. What is High Court Legal Service Committee? It means High Court Legal Service Committee constituted under section. We do not have to remember the section. So many candidates are very much, afraid that, ma'am, we have to learn the sections also. The answer is no. You do not have to learn the section. Okay. What is legal service? Includes the rendering of any service in the conduct of legal service. Means basically just like we go to the beauty parlor for the beauty parlor service. You people come to Adda 24/7 for the teaching services. So same thing, legal service includes rendering of any services in the conduct of any case, other legal proceeding before any court and other authority, tribunal, the giving advice of this one. This is called legal services. That is important. That is important. Okay, this is called legal services. Lok Adalat, that is given in the chapter 6. No need to learn the chapter. Only you have to remember in which act the Lok Adalat is there. The Legal Service Authority Act, that's it. Regulation that is made under this act, that is called regulation. Scheme, that is, scheme means any policy that is framed by the central authority, state authority, district authority, etc. State authority, which means State Legal Service Authority constituted under this act. State government, that's include administrator of union territory appointed by the president under Article 239 of the Constitution. No need to remember these things. That's it. Over. So now we will do the Negotiable Instrument Act, and this Negotiable Instrument Act is of your module B. So right now guys, we have done module what? We have done module D, module C. Okay guys, so we have completed module C and module D. That's it. Okay, C and D. Now, what is promissory note? Section 4. So, promissory note is basically, this is A, this is B. A is giving goods to B. B is making a document which is register and stamp that he will give 5 lakh rupees after 1 month to the A person. So this is called promissory note. So promissory note is basically instrument in writing containing an unconditional sign by the maker, that will be the maker, okay, to pay certain sum of money to the order of certain person and the bearer. Order means name is specified. And what is bearer? Bearer means name is not specified. So this is called promissory note. In the same example, right now when B have to give 5 lakh rupees, now A will make a document. This is called bill of exchange, in which the name is written that after writing, A will sign, then B will sign here, then after it will approach to the C person. So in the bill of exchange guys, 3 persons are there. So what exactly the bill of exchange? Instrument in writing containing the unconditional order signed by the maker directing the certain person to pay certain sum of money only to and to the order of certain person and to the bearer. So order means when the name is written. Suppose in the check, if the name is not written, that is called bearer. If the name is written, that is called the order. So this is called bill of exchange. What is check? Check is basically, suppose if Nikita ma'am have given check to the Anish sir. So Anish sir will now go to the bank. He will deposit the check and the money will be transferred to the Anish sir account. So what is this? This is called check. So check is also kind of bill of exchange drawn on the specified banker. In the check, the bank is always the drawee. Okay? Not expressed to be payable, otherwise then demand. Because check always payable on the demand. And check also include the electronic image of a truncated check. Because right now we also use the electronic check and truncated check. That's it. Okay. What is holder and what is holder in due course? So that is so simple. Holder and holder in due course. I will give you one example. X is working in a company, salary is 50,000 rupees. Y demand one day 2 lakh rupees because he just want to deposit that 2 lakh rupees in the college. Now, Y have given X 50,000 rupees check and 2 lakh rupees check. Both check become bounce. When the both check become bounce, so guys, Y have a right to file the case in that case, but do not have a right to file the case on the 2 lakh check. So in the 50,000, Y is known as holder in due course, and in 2 lakh that Y is known as holder. So this is the basic difference between holder in due course and this one. So as you can see that Y in the case of 50,000, holder in due course, C for course, C for consideration. So in the 50,000, the consideration is from both sides, but in this only one side. This is called holder. Okay, so this is the basic definition of holder and holder in due course. Now, what is payment in due course? Payment in due course means, suppose if Nikita ma'am, me, have taken check from the drawer of my house, okay, and that check actually belong to my husband company, but I just use the check leaf. In the check leaf, amount is written, amount is not written, only the sign of the that particular person is there. So I have just write my name and the amount, and I just deposit the check to the bank. In that case, I'm doing work without any negligence and in a good faith. So Nikita ma'am in that case is called payment in due course. See, what is payment in due course? Payment in accordance with the apparent tenor of the instrument in good faith, without negligence to any person in the possession under the circumstance. This is called payment in due course. Is that okay? What is inland instrument? Inland, which is made in India, drawn in India. Foreign instrument, that is not so drawn in India, but made and payable in India. Negotiable instrument, exact definition is not written. In negotiable instrument, it is written, it's include promissory note, bill of exchange, check, etc. What is negotiation? Transfer. Negotiation means transfer. This is called negotiation. What is endorsement? Sign. Endorsement means sign at the foot of the instrument. Or if the place is not there, then we can sign in the back side of the instrument. That is called endorsement. One word to remember. No need to mug up these things. No need. Dishonor of check. For insufficient of fund in the account where any check drawn by person on the account maintained by him with a banker for payment of any amount of money to the another form out of that account for the discharge. It is basically dishonor of check that is given in 138 of the Negotiable Instrument Act. It's include, suppose if Nikita ma'am have given check to the Vinitha ma'am. When Vinitha ma'am deposited the check, I have an insufficient fund. This is called dishonor of check. So my punishment will be 2 years of jail or fine. So this is called dishonor of check. That's it. Okay, this is called dishonor of check. So many things are written, but the punishment is 2 years or fine. C class. Visual publicity, representation, endorsement, pronouncement made by the means of light. So what are the way in which we can advertise? By the means of light, sound, smoke, gas, print, electronic media, internet, website, include any notice, circular, label, wrapper, invoice, such other document. So this is called advertisement, and we know that when anybody advertise, then we just take this thing. So this is the meaning of class advertisement. See, this is called advertisement. Is that okay, class? Okay, this is called advertisement. Okay, now the next one. What is complaint? We are the consumer. Under the Consumer Protection Act, we have to complain. So what is complaint? So complaint is basically means a consumer or any voluntary consumer association. Okay, what is complainant? This is not complaint. This is complainant. So complainant is the person who complained. So consumer is a complainant. Any voluntary consumer association, the central government or any state government, the central authority, one or more consumer. In the case of death of the person, his legal representative will also act as a complainant. And in the case the consumer is a minor, his parent and legal guardian. So class, this question can become in your exam, that what is complainant? The options will be given to you, and then the options will be given to you and you have to tick mark. So this is class the complainant. And this definition portion, class, trust me, that is very important, the definition portion. Hello Divya ma'am. I'm absolutely fine. How are you? Glad to see. Okay, so class, this is called complainant. Okay, now what is complaint? Complaint means basically the complainant person complain. So under the Consumer Protection Act, let's talk about what is complaint. What are the defective, when we just purchase the goods and this one take the services, and if any defectives come, so that's come under the complaint. Now see, what is complaint? Any allegation in writing made by complainant for obtaining any relief that is provided by or under this act, that unfair contract, unfair trade practices or restrictive trade practices, okay, has been adopted by any trader or service provider. The goods bought by him, agreed to be bought by him, suffer from one or more defect. The services hired, suppose if we hire any car, and avail or agreed to be hired, availed by him suffer from any deficiency, or a trader, service provider, as the case may be, has been charged for the goods and services, okay, that is fixed by or under any law, displayed on the goods or any package, displayed on the price list exhibited by him, or agreed between the party. That's great. Divya ma'am, proud of you. I know that you will clear the exam. Okay, that's great. So ma'am, whenever we just conduct the success party, you have to come. Okay, and in most probably in January we will conduct. Okay, so you have to come. So guys, this is called complaint. So this is very, very much important. See, that is called complaint. Okay, this is complaint. Done? Next. Some more things are there. The goods which are hazardous to life and safety when used. Okay, in contravention of standard relating to the safety of such goods. Okay, where the trader know that the goods so suffered are unsafe, the service which are hazardous or likely to be hazardous, and the claim of product liability action lies against the product manufacturer. So these are the complaint class. These are the complaint. See, first, second, third, fourth. Okay, this is fifth, sixth, seventh. So 7 points are there, class. Let's talk about the complaint. So this is important. This is important, guys. Done? Next, what is consumer? So consumer, that is a very simple definition. So consumer means the person who buy any goods for the consideration, okay? For the consideration, hire or avail any services for consideration. So this is the one word to understand the definition of consumer. So consumer, now you can just study the whole paragraph. Otherwise, I have already ticked the main thing. So consumer means any person who buy any goods for consideration which has been paid or promised or partially paid, partially promised under any system of deferred payment, include any user of such goods other than the person who buys such goods consideration, partly paid, partly promised, or any system deferred payment. That is called consumer. And service. So this sentence talk about services, this sentence talk about the goods. That's it. See. So this is important. Now, what is consumer dispute? Dispute where the person against whom a complaint has been made denies or disputes the allegation contained in the complaint. This is called consumer dispute. That is important. That is important. What is consumer rights? Right to be protected against the marketing of goods. Okay, consumer rights. We have already done 6 points. So right to be protected. I will just highlight the points. Right to be protected. Right to be informed. First of all, I will highlight then. Right to be assured. Right to be heard. Right to seek redressal. Right to consumer awareness. So class, this is your 6 rights of the consumer. So now what is written here? Right to be protected against the marketing of goods, product and services which is hazardous to life and property. That is right to be protected. Right to be informed. Suppose we have a right to be informed about the quality, quantity, potency, purity, standard and the price of goods, product, services, etc. Right to be informed. Next, right to be assured wherever possible access to the variety of goods, product and services at competitive price. That is important. Okay. Right to be heard, to be assured that consumer interest will receive due consideration at appropriate forum. Right to seek redressal against unfair trade practices, restrictive trade practices or unscrupulous exploitation of the consumer, and right to consumer awareness. So this is very, very much important. Okay, so there are 6 rights, guys. There are 6 rights of the consumer. Done? 6 rights of the consumer. What is defect? Defect means any fault, imperfection, shortcoming in the quality, quantity, potency, purity, standard which is required to be maintained by under any law for the time being in force or under any contract express or implied or claimed by the trader in any manner. That is, this is called defect. So when we purchase anything, that's come under the defective way. What is e-commerce? Buying or selling goods and services including digital product over digital and electronic network. This is called e-commerce. So now this Consumer Protection Act also apply in the e-commerce services. That is important. Okay. So defect e-commerce. If I say you that what are the important points, important this, so the important advertisement is not important, complainant definition is important, complaint is important, consumer definition is important, consumer right is important. These are the important terms that you have to learn. Now what is goods? Goods means every kind of movable property, includes food as defined under subsection this of Food and Safety Standard Act 2006. So this is the definition of goods. That's it. Done, class? So this is the definition of goods. Okay. Now let's start with the next. What is misleading advertisement? Misleading means that if any good and services we are purchasing that is falsely describe such product and services, false guarantee, convey express or implied representation which if made by the manufacturer, seller, service provider would constitute the unfair trade practice, and deliberately conceal. Conceal means to hide the important information. This is called mislead advertisement. That is important. Mislead advertisement. Person, individual, firm, Hindu undivided family, cooperative society, an association of person, any corporation, any artificial, judicial person. So these are the person, but that is not important. That is not important. Whatever the definition that is important, I have already highlighted you. That is consumer rights, definition of consumer, what is complaint, what is complainant, that's it. So this is your what important points, okay, that can be come in the form of question. Okay, now what is restrictive trade practice? This is already come in your exam. Already come in your exam. So what is restrictive trade practices? That is basically manipulated of price. One word to remember. Manipulated of price, that is called restrictive trade practices. Okay, one word to remember. Service, service of any description which is made available to the potential user and includes not limited to the provision of facilities in connection. So services is basically that we just give to the people. Okay. Now the insolvency and bankruptcy code. What is insolvency? If a person is not able to pay the money, this is called insolvency. And what is bankruptcy? When the court declares that that person is not able to pay the money, this is called bankruptcy. So this is the exact definition of the term insolvency and bankruptcy code. Now let's understand the next one. What is bench? Bench includes of adjudicating authority. This is called bench. Adjudicating authority. Because in insolvency and bankruptcy matter, what are the adjudicating authority? DRT and NCLT. These are the adjudicating authority under this one. Excellent, ma'am. So under insolvency and bankruptcy code, okay, this DRT and NCLT is the adjudicating authority. Okay, what is charge? As we know that any interest lien that is created on the property or asset of the company of its undertaking, this is called charge. Suppose if a borrower is not able to pay the money, so in that case, the borrower is but obvious have given the security to the person, to the creditor. So on that security, whatever the interest and lien that is created, that is called charge. So this is very example. Corporate person defined in clause 20 of section 2 of Company Act 2013. See, corporate person. Corporate debtor who owe a debt, that is called corporate debtor. And those candidates who are just seeing this session in the recorded form, do not forget to ask any question if you feel. You can ask any question, guys. Okay? You can ask any question. Because concept clarity is the first priority. What is creditor? Creditor means any person who wants money. That is called creditor. Debt, any liability and obligation. That is called debt. Default, non-payment of debt. That is called default. Okay, if I am not able to pay the money, ma'am, after CIB, what to do? Divya ma'am, after CIB, you have a certain certification course, ma'am. You can do that course because that will also benefit for you. And ma'am, for more detail in certification, you can please ask this question to the Suprabha ma'am because she is the ex, this banker. So she will tell you in a better way that which certification course will be better for you, ma'am. Because ma'am, Divya ma'am, after CIB, mainly banker do the certification course. Okay, ma'am, you can just ask me the link of Suprabha ma'am in the Telegram ID. Financial institution, that is also the authority in which we just demand the money. Okay, so it's include scheduled bank, financial institution, okay, public financial institution and such other institution. That is your definition of this one. Okay, next, insolvency professional. Insolvency professional is one of the pillar of IBC. So these professionals, a person enroll under section 206 with the insolvency professional agency. That's it. Information utility, this is also the pillar, this is also the pillar. Just like the government have 3 pillars: legislature, executive and judiciary. So IBC also have a 4 pillar: adjudicating authority, insolvency professional, information utility, and the last one is IBBI. Okay, a person who is registered with the board as an information utility. What is person? Individual, Hindu unit family, company, trust, partnership, LLP or any other entity. That is called person. Property includes money, good, actionable claim, land, every description of property, that is called property. What is secured creditor? The creditor in favor of whom security interest is created. Secured interest, security interest, rights, title, interest, claim to property created in the favor of secured creditor. Because secured creditor wants money, so whatever interest that is created on the security, that is called security interest. Transfer include sale, purchase, exchange, mortgage, pledge, gift, loan, etc. Transfer of property, any property include transfer of any interest in the property and creation of any charge upon the property. Prevention of Money Laundering Act, we do not we do not have to learn the definition. Why? Because in Prevention of Money Laundering Act, no definition is there. And the one thing I just want to say you that in the Prevention of Money Laundering Act, no definition of Money Laundering Act is there. No definition of Money Laundering Act is there. This is very important. So as you can easily see, in genuinely Prevention of Money Laundering Act, the in the various act we are seeing the 10 to 12 important terms, but in this act we do not have to learn the definition terms. Now, no definition in tax law, because in the tax law we have just learned about the income tax, about the GST, about the PAN card. So that's why we do not have to learn the definition in the tax law also. And no definition in Banking Regulation Act 1949, because in this act whatever the important sections are there, we only have to focus on the important concept. So that's why these three acts, no need to learn the definition. Is that okay? Now let's start with the remaining. Module B, Payment and Settlement Act 2007. So what exactly this? The Payment and Settlement Act, basically, suppose Google Pay is there, Phone Pay is there, Paytm is there. So right now we all people are depend upon the online system in the transaction of money. Right now we all are depend. So class, but that is also regulated by the Reserve Bank of India. So in the Payment and Settlement Act, basically we have to learn about how the Reserve Bank of India maintain and what are the other authority for this one. Okay, now see, what is bank? Bank is basically that's included in the second schedule to the Reserve Bank of India. It include Post Office Saving Bank, Banking Company, Cooperative Bank and such other bank. So this is the definition of bank that is in the Payment and System Act. See class. So how the question can become? 5 points are there. So the definition term of bank in Payment and Settlement Act, 3 options will be given and 1 wrong option will be given. So you have to tick mark on the wrong option. So this can become in the form of question class. This is the definition of bank. Is that okay? Next one. What is electronic fund? Electronic means basically without physical handover, without physical transfer of money. Okay, so electronic fund transfer means any transfer of fund which is initiated by person by the way of instruction, authorization, order to a bank to debit, credit an account maintained with the bank through the electronic means. It means we are not transferring the money in a physical mode. Through electronically, through online, we are transferring the money. So this is called electronic fund. Okay, transfer means any transfer of fund which is initiated by person by the way of instruction, authorization, order of a bank to debit or credit account maintained with the bank through the electronic means. See class, we know that through Google Pay you can transfer the money through A person to B person, but there is a relation of bank, then only the Google Pay will also work. Okay, so online transaction doesn't mean the online company is doing transferring the money. No, there is a involvement of bank also. Without bank, without the connection of the bank, this company cannot do the work. Okay, so that's it. And what includes, as you can easily see, that includes point of sale transfer, automated teller machine transaction, direct deposit, withdrawal of funds, transfer of initiated by telephone, internet, card payment, etc. So this is called electronic fund. What is GSS? gross settlement system, the payment in which each settlement of fund or securities occur on the basis of separate individual instruction. C class. Gross settlement system, the system in which each settlement of fund and security occur on the basis of separate and individual, that is instruction. What is notification? That come in the official gazette, that is called notification. What is payment instruction? Any instrument, instrument means document, authorization, order in any form including electronic means to effect a payment by person to a system participant, by system participant to another system participant. That's it. This is called payment instruction. This is called payment instruction. Okay guys, next one. What is payment obligation? Obligation is the duty. So means indebtedness that is owned by one system participant to the another system participant as a result of clearing and settlement of one and more payment instruction. And what is payment system? The system that enable payment to be effected between a payer and a beneficiary involving clearing, payment or settlement service, all them, but does not include stock exchange. So payment system is basically your Google Pay, Phone Pay, Paytm, etc. So these systems are also controlled by the RBI. Okay. Now system participant, that means a bank or any other person participating in payment system and include the system provider. And what is system provider? A person who operates an authorized payment system, that is called system provider. So this is very, very much important. This is very, very much important. Got it guys? Now, module B. Now guys, Foreign Exchange Management Act. So FEMA Act is basically how to manage the foreign exchange if we want to import, export anything from India or outside India. So FEMA Act is basically this one. In this act also, RBI and your ED is the main authority who just regulate, that is RBI, and investigate, that is ED in this act. Okay, so what is FEMA? Authorized person means authorized dealer, money changer, offshore banking unit, any other person for the time being in authorized, this one. Authorized person include the company, money changer company, or any bank or any sponsor bank that's come under the authorized person. What is authorized officer? Officer of Enforcement Directorate. Officer of Enforcement Directorate. What is capital account transaction? And first of all, what is currency? So currency include all currency note, postal order, money order, check, whatever the things, draft, traveler check, letter of credit, everything include in the term currency. What is capital account transaction? The capital account transaction is basically, there are two types of transaction. The first is capital, the second is current. Okay. C class, current account transaction, and this is your capital. So both thing I will explain you in the same manner. If I talk about the current, see, current account transaction, capital account transaction. In the current, money will go, never come back, or either money will come, never go back. But in capital, money will go, money will come back. So this is the process, or this is the one word to remember. If I talk about the example of current account transaction, so in the current account transaction, guys, if you just go for the foreign travel, education, medical care. Suppose if you spent the money in USA for the education, so the money will not come back. So the money will not come back. This is called current account transaction. And what is capital? Suppose the best example of this is loan. The loan will come back. In this one, medical expenses, traveling, etc. So I think the concept is clear to all of you. Okay. Currency note means include cash in the form of coins and banknote. This is called currency note. This is called class what? Currency note. Done? What is foreign currency? Other than Indian currency is called foreign currency. That is so simple. What is foreign exchange? Foreign exchange means foreign currency and includes deposit, credit, balance payable in any form of foreign currency, draft, traveler's check, letter of credit, bill of exchange, express drawn in Indian currency but payable in any foreign currency. So foreign currency is basically that is related to the foreign currency. So foreign exchange is basically that is related to the foreign currency. That's it. Okay, so this is easy. What is Indian currency? Which is express drawn in India rupees but does not include special bank notes and the special 1 rupee note. That is called Indian currency. Person means individual, Hindu undivided family, company, firm, association of person, or every artificial that is belong to company. So these person include in the definition of person. That is important. That is important. Person. What is person resident in India? Okay. The person residing in India for more than 182 days during the course of preceding financial year but does not include. So I will not explain first of all this one. First of all, we have to study the person resident in India. So this is the first point. Any person, body corporate, registered incorporated in India, an office, branch, agency in India, owned and controlled by person resident outside India, or an office, branch, agency outside India, owned and controlled by person resident in India. So these are the 4 person that includes in the definition of this one. C class. That's include in the definition of person resident in India. Now, which person will not include in the definition? The person who has gone out of India and who stay outside India. That will not include person resident in India. See, person who has come to stay in India in either case, otherwise then for and taking employment in India, for carrying or India any business. It means that basically do not want to stay in India, do not want to do any business, or just do not want to stay in India. That's it. So these person will not include in this one, or any other person, a purpose in such circumstance as would indicate his intention to stay in India for an uncertain period. So this is the exact definition. This is the exact definition, guys. Is that okay? So this is very much important. Repatriate to India, that is so simple. Repatriate means X person is there, Y person is there. No, suppose this is India, X person exchange $1,000, okay, and just spent in USA, but $2,000 left. So when X will take back this $2,000 in India, this is called repatriate to India, means bringing into India the released foreign exchange. This is called repatriate to India. A very simple definition. A very simple definition of repatriate to India, guys. This is important. This is important. Got it? And the Reserve Bank of India, that is too much easy. What is bank? Reserve Bank of India constituted by this act. Central Board of Director of the bank. Deposit Insurance Corporation, that is established under this act. That is so much easy. And no need to learn this one. Development Bank. What is Exim Bank? What is foreign currency, foreign exchange? Industrial Finance Corporation, International Development Association. These definition terms are not important. International Financial Corporation, International Monetary Fund, and International Bank of this one, National Bank, National Housing Bank, Reconstruction Bank, Rupees Coin. So these are the bank which is established under the specific act, as you can easily see that. So no need to remember these bank. Just always remember that whatever the bank is established, every bank have to follow the Banking Regulation Act, and if they have a separate act, that is for their constitution's duties, but for the regulation